back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Nick, and today we have the car hopefully going back together completely. So you can see Levi and I, in the last video, we put the intake manifold on. Everything's been set and cured overnight. And well, we just got a few things to put on the car today. All of this, which honestly isn't that much stuff. Also today I'm going to be installing the Blackview DRS 900 4K dash camera, as well as the Autohaus X1 Pro. This rear view mirror is actually a full screen and will allow me to see behind the car, because the rear view camera on the car before was not working properly. So I'm installing this one, and this one's an HD version. Also, the benefits of having this one is also records everything that happens behind the car. I know that there are two cameras with this Blackview DRS 900. The front view camera is 4K, so that is really good. If you don't know the difference between 4K and 1080, the difference is massive. So we're going to use the 4K for the front. There's a second camera here, which is supposed to record the back, but instead, since I'm going to record the rear with this one, I'm going to record the cockpit view with this. And that way you guys can see everything that happens, and if I don't have a camera rolling at that time, which would have been very helpful when the car actually shut off, so you guys could have seen everything that happened. So that's why I'm going to use with this one. So instead of the Autohaus mirror, I wanted to go with a Gentex mirror. My friend Kyle Gruz, he works up at Gentex, and he showed me them, and they have really awesome technology mirrors, and I thought, oh, you know what, that would be awesome in the R8. Well, he told me the price, and he told me it was going to be expensive. I was thinking like $300 or $400, but he told me it was $2,500 for a rear view camera mirror. So anyways, I went with this cheaper version right here that I got off of Amazon for about 320 bucks. Let's start getting this stuff into the car, everything back onto the car, and hopefully Mario can come tonight with his VCDS so we can clear both ECMs of everything before I start the car. I got to do that before I start the car, so that's very important. So anyways, hopefully everything works out today. Hopefully we can get this thing back on the ground and rolling today. I guess we'll see. All right, guys, it's almost time. If you can see behind me, we got a familiar face that we sorely miss on this channel. But the Hispanic mechanic is doing his magic. He is going over, making sure everything's plugged in, everything's correct before we clear the faults and go for the first start of the car. Mario was asking me that, you know, do we need to bring the car to Audi still? And he goes, I told him no, that Alish told me that I don't. And he's like, how did he do that? Well, Alish is kind of just a wizard over at RTM Performance, and he's always taking care of us, and he never bullshits us. So I believe that this car, well, on his end will work. Hopefully I did everything on my end, and we don't have any other ghosts that we have to chase tonight. So hopefully we'll get this thing going here in a few minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for almost a month. This is what I've been waiting for almost a month. This is what Mario's been waiting for. He's just done what he needs to do with the VCDS, and let's see what happens right now.
There was like not a sputter.
There was nothing.
Yeah, let me just check that there's no faults.
All right, guys, you guys just saw it. You guys witnessed it, and yes, there was smoke coming out of there, but that's all the stuff that I was cleaning out in there. It's just got to burn up a little bit, and we'll be good to go. Mario says that I did a phenomenal job on the decarb, and there's no sputtering, and it runs extremely smooth. Also, he confirmed that he plugged the computer back in to see if anything happened, and there's absolutely zero faults. So what we got to do, button this thing up, then take it for a rip. Not sure how far we'll get to tonight, but for sure, at the end of this video, you'll see this car on the road, and maybe doing some smoky burnouts, smoky donuts, I don't know. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Alish. Thank you, Levi. And thank you to everybody who had helped me get this car to this point. So nothing left to do but get this thing back on its own wheels. What a sight to behold. It is finally on its own 2 feet. Mario's doing over there his happy dance. And you see, no big wang today. And we're actually gonna run it like the DDE, Alex Choi, all the other guys. And that is not because I think it looks cool. It looks kind of cool, but personally, the reason why I will not run a rear bumper delete is because you actually have to delete the crash bar, which is this, to make it look good. And if you delete the crash bar, get rear-ended, well, your insurance is gonna say, go yourself because you deleted a critical safety part of the car. So that's why I'm not going to do it. It looks retarded with the actual crash bar on the car. And if I'm gonna run that, I might as well run the actual cover. And it actually looks completely, in my opinion, way better with it on. But we're only running it like this so that we're gonna go test drive it right now. I'll test drive it for a few hours tomorrow. Then if no leaks, everything works correctly, we'll put everything back on the car. And basically we're doing this so we don't have to take the car back apart for no reason. So here we go. Car will be, hopefully, this is a good test drive. All right, guys, so we just took the car for a test drive, and yes, it does drive, it's very smooth, but when you get into high RPMs, we experience a couple of misfires here and there under boost. So when you rev the motor, there is no sign of misfire, so it's kind of hard to tell what's causing it. We're gonna have to take the car over to our friend Alish over at RTM Performance and get the thing on a dyno so he can monitor what's going on with the car instead of the car shaking and trying to kill us basically when we're trying to diagnose what's going on. So hopefully he has some openings for us soon and we can get the car over there. And 100%, it's about 99% right now, but we need to get it 100%. So I gotta say, it was an eventful weekend. We started the car for the very first time and it runs and drives fine at normal speeds. However, at full power under boost, the engine starts to misfire. We have diagnosed it to spark plug gap issue. The person that had told me what to gap them to, who built the car, obviously it's been several years since he had seen the car. He had guessed at 28 thousandths. I had just went ahead and gapped it at 28 thousandths and didn't even measure the ones that came out of the car. I was comparing them to the other spark plugs, and the other ones were about 24 thousandths average. So that's quite the difference in a spark plug, and let me show you what the difference is now.
All right, so you see that in my hand right there? That is a gap of 28 thousandths. So if you move to this one right here, this one is a gap of 24 thousandths.
So I know it doesn't look like much and it's very minuscule, and that's what everybody thinks. But when it comes to spark plugs, gapping makes all of the difference. Too big of a gap in a boosted car or anything with high performance, high compression will cause a misfire. It won't be able to burn up all the fuel inside the cylinder. So closing the gap on the spark plug, just that little bit creates all the difference. I am bummed out, to say the least. When I was pulling out the spark plugs, I was re-gapping them, putting them back in. Anyways, the last 3 spark plugs that I pulled out.
So if you guys can see this right here, the porcelain is actually cracked all around this spark plug, and I stuck a scope inside the cylinder. There's no debris left in there, so it's a clean break.
It's very unfortunate, but it's due to the intense heat caused by the misfire. Anyways, I have some new spark plugs on order. They're on the way. They'll be here tomorrow morning. I'll get them in the car. We'll gap them to what the old spark plugs were gapped to. And fingers crossed we don't have any misfires under full boost, and we can put the rest of the car together, because I really do feel like driving the car around with a bumper off is kind of a douchey move, but to each their own. On that note, if you like this video, hit that like button below, smash it if that's something you want to do, subscribe if you already haven't, and we'll see you in the next video.